Carla, the brave owner of a small highway diner, steps in when two aggressive police officers begin harassing a tired, Hell's Angel biker named Ray for no reason. She boldly stands between them and defends him, saying, "In my diner, everyone is treated with respect." But the moment those words leave her mouth, everything changes. On the outskirts of a worn-out American highway stood a small diner named Carla's Corner, an old but warm place run by a strong-hearted black woman named Carla Johnson. Her diner had survived recessions, storms, and endless travelers, but nothing shaped her more than the life she had lived. The struggles, the losses, the resilience that kept her standing behind that counter every dawn. Carla treated every customer the same, with kindness, honesty, and a plate full of food that tasted like comfort. People passing through town often said her diner was a place where tired souls found peace and broken ones found healing. But no one knew that one ordinary morning would turn this quiet diner into the center of a story that would spread across the country. It began just after sunrise when the first rays of light touched the chrome of a Harley-Davidson pulling into her dusty parking lot. The engine was loud enough to vibrate the windows, but the man riding it looked exhausted. His denim vest carried the unmistakable patch of the Hell's Angels, a sight that normally scared people away. His beard was long, his arms tattooed, but his eyes showed something softer, something tired. He walked in and sat silently at a booth. Carla approached with her usual soft smile, not judging him by his appearance. "Coffee?" she asked gently. The biker nodded. "Name's Ray," he muttered. She gave him a warm plate of eggs and toast, and for the first time in days, Ray felt safe. He wasn't used to people treating him like a human being. As the biker ate quietly, two police cruisers pulled into the parking lot. Officers Washington and Miller, known in the area for their aggressive handling of bikers, walked inside with hands resting near their holsters. They didn't order food. They walked straight toward Ray's booth. Ray didn't look up. He had dealt with harassment many times before. One officer slammed a hand on the table. "Get up," Officer Washington barked. "We know your kind. Stand up and let us run you through the system." Carla, watching from behind the counter, felt a heaviness in her chest. She had seen injustice too many times in her life. Ray calmly replied, "I haven't done anything. Just eating breakfast." That only made the officers angrier. Miller grabbed Ray by the shoulder, trying to yank him up. Before he could, Carla stepped forward with surprising firmness. "Let him go," she said, her voice steady but filled with fire. Both officers turned in disbelief. Washington scoffed, "Ma'am, stay out of this. He's a Hell's Angel." Carla did not flinch. "He's also a customer. And in my diner, people are treated with respect." Washington smirked. "So you're defending a criminal?" Carla walked closer until she stood between the officers and Ray. "I'm defending a human being you're harassing without cause." The diner went silent. Customers stared. The tension grew thick. The officers glared at her, but Carla refused to back down. She had survived worse than intimidation. After a long stare down, Washington finally exhaled sharply. "Fine, but if he causes trouble, that's on you." They stormed out, doors slamming behind them. Carla turned to Ray. "Finish your breakfast," she said softly. Ray looked at her, stunned. No one had stood up for him before. "Why did you do that?" he whispered. Carla replied, "Because it was right." Ray left the diner shortly after, but not before promising, "You won't be forgotten." Carla didn't understand what he meant, but the next morning she would. The following day, before the sun had fully risen, a deep rumbling shook the quiet highway. Carla, preparing coffee inside, froze. The sound grew louder and louder, like thunder rolling across the earth. She stepped outside and her heart nearly stopped. 1 motorcycle, 10 motorcycles, 50, 100, 200 Hell's Angels filled the highway, parking in perfect rows around her diner. The engines roared, the air vibrated, and people from nearby towns began stopping their cars in shock. At the front of the crowd stood Ray, clean-shaven, wearing his full club vest, looking like a leader reborn. He walked up to Carla with a smile. "I told you you wouldn't be forgotten." Carla stared at the endless sea of bikers. "Race, what is this?" Ray turned toward the crowd. "Brothers," he shouted. The massive group fell silent. "Yesterday this woman defended one of us. Not because we're bikers, not because we're feared, But because she has a heart stronger than all the engines out here. Cheers erupted. The noise shook the windows of the diner. Ray continued, so today, we stand with her. One by one, the bikers approached the diner not to cause chaos, but to buy food, tip heavily, fix broken equipment, repaint the building, repair the roof, and clean the parking lot. Some bikers brought groceries, some brought supplies, some handed Carla envelopes filled with donations. Carla, overwhelmed, kept wiping tears from her eyes as she cooked. Word spread across social media, local news, and eventually national television. Black woman defends biker from police 200. Hell's Angels arrived to thank her. But the story didn't end there. Over the next weeks, the bikers returned regularly, helping rebuild the diner, protecting it from corrupt local officers who tried to intimidate Carla, and forming an unexpected family around her. Ray became a constant presence not as a biker stereotype, but as a man trying to rebuild his life. Inspired by the courage and kindness of one woman, Carla's diner transformed from a forgotten stop into a legendary landmark known as the Angels' Haven. Travelers came from every state just to see the place where a woman's bravery changed the lives of hundreds. In the end, Carla learned that sometimes the people society fears the most can carry the biggest loyalty, and Ray learned that one act of kindness can heal years of being judged.